Every meal has a story to tell. That is, if you're willing to look for it. I'm Danielle Pruitt, and I started Wild and Whole with the mission to reawaken our connection to food and to empower us to develop meaningful relationships with the ingredients on our plate.
You're not just farming sustainably, you're regenerating.
As a cook, I'm driven by curiosity, and my inspiration springs from harvesting ingredients directly from its source. I've spent the past decade of my life trying to eat consciously, and believe me, it's not always easy. But it's taught me the value of our food and resources. And of course, it brings me so much joy in the kitchen.
Whoa!
I want to challenge your perception of what food is, where it comes from, and how those two elements are woven into our lives. Because connecting to our landscape through food means so much more than just the calories that sustain us. Welcome to Wild and Whole Sourced. As winter's fog fades over the Pacific Northwest, I venture here to forage for every foodie's favorite ingredient. Tucked under these mysterious evergreen forests lies the elusive truffle. When I heard that there were both cultivated and wild truffles growing here, I couldn't book my flight fast enough. Today, I'm going on my very first truffle hunt with Alana of Truffle Hunting Dog Company.
Have you been up to this area before?
Never. So I love mushrooms.
Yeah.
I love cooking them, eating with them, and I love foraging for chanterelles back home. But the one mushroom that has always eluded me are truffles.
Yeah.
I've never even eaten a truffle.
Yeah.
So I started doing research and I found out that you can actually find wild truffles. And so we found you, and here in Washington,
Yeah.
they're native.
They're native, yeah. They grow here in these beautiful forests with Doug fir, and in the winter months. So, you know, the rainier and the colder and the wetter and the grosser out it is, the better the hunting. And we have two types. So we're going to be hunting primarily for our native black truffles today, but we may find some native white truffles too.
And we're not going to do it alone.
No, we need help from our little canine friends. So this is Lolo. She's very excited.
Hi.
She is a Lagotto Romagnolo, which is the breed that they use traditionally in Italy. And then we have Ruby, who's our golden, who's probably hovering, wandering around.
You train these dogs yourselves?
Yeah, so we teach other people to do this for fun too, but yeah, so these are dogs that I've trained to do this for hunting. Yeah, so they're the ones with the equipment.
I think it's amazing that like we can come out here and find them in the wild, because I guess I've always thought of truffle as this like ingredient that had to be shipped from Italy, and to know that it's native here and that it's something that you can go out and do.
Yeah.
With the dog.
It's really fun. It's like treasure hunting, right?
Yeah.
It's like treasure hunting in the woods.
And they're excited. I know this one's ready to go.
She's ready, ready to go.
Lolo takes off and within moments finds our first
Okay,
truffle.
you don't need to rip the whole plant out. Can you? Is that it? That's it. Wow.
Good girl.
So you see it right there? So the only way I knew that was there, one, I can smell it.
I feel like there's more to it. I can't describe all the things. It's
Does it have a cake batter aroma? Like a bread?
like a raw egg.
Mhm.
Or like, you know, have you ever had like cookie dough and you're like, what is that taste to it? It's actually the raw egg. That's like a
Interesting.
sweetness to it.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe I'm making this all
No,
up.
they
I feel
do-
like it is extremely complex.
They do have, well, they are, and like they'll all be different. So hopefully we'll find another one, right? And you can compare them.
It's incredible that she's able to find that.
I mean, dog's sense of smell is so amazing.
While the dog's keen sense of smell makes finding truffles precise and minimally disturbs the soil, it's important to always place the soil back after digging to leave the smallest trace possible.
Oh, hold on.
The Oregon black truffle has a complex sweet aroma that can sometimes be perceived as tropical fruits or even raw cake batter.
Right there.
I'm okay with this.
Good dog. Come here. So see if you can see it. You're
Is
sorry,
that-
you're getting annihilated.
This
See if
one?
you can find it. Yep. You ready?
I just cannot believe how fruity these are.
Yeah. You have to go find one. Go.
Dogs aren't the only animals that can sniff out spores. Dozens of animals dig up fungi for a snack.
Oh my, where though? There we go.
Oh,
Yeah.
good girl.
If you spot some fresh diggings, make sure to look around. Chances are you might find yourself in the vicinity of some wild edible truffle.
Wow. This one's amazing.
It's nice, yeah.
She looks like she's having so much fun. She's having a blast.
The Pacific Northwest forest hold the key to growing truffles. The Douglas fir roots generate nutrients for the mushrooms to thrive. Truffles also tend to like wet soil, making this spot prime truffle real estate. It's difficult to describe the smell of a truffle because I pick up so many different things
smells,
all at
though.
once.
Is there more? Can you show me?
Like a black or white?
White.
The winter white truffle is incredibly intense.
Because it's so little.
Oh my
It's
god.
So little.
I smell pungent
Oh my
onion,
gosh.
aged cheese,
Whoa.
But look at how strong that is,
and
though.
even gasoline.
It's like, imagine if you took cheese and aged it so long that you could light it on fire. That's what I smell.
I like that. That's a good one. But
I don't even know if that makes any
whites
sense.
will normally be like that size, would be pretty big for a white. That is tiny, 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 tiny.
Alana explains how, unfortunately, raking for truffles causes damage to the mycelium, endangering these forests. But using dogs like Lolo and Ruby to truffle hunt is not only fun and rewarding, it's sustainable too.
We
What
got
a
one.
good puppy.
Oh,
See, it smells
whoa.
okay though.
Good girl, Ruby. Good girl. How cool.
Good job,
Good
honey.
job.
Come here, Ruby. What a good Ruby. Come here.
Woo!
Okay.
Yeah, so that was an amazing day, and this is an incredible spread.
Yeah, I'm glad you could come out. It's super fun.
You're gonna have to explain to me
Yes.
everything that we have on this table because it looks delicious.
Yeah, here, let's go through it. So I'm gonna start with this one, which is a white truffle infused salami, right? Because we weren't sure what we were gonna find a bunch of them, so we wanna make sure you could try it. This is a Parmesan that's been infused with the white truffle as well. A little bit of honeycomb to go with that, which is super good. These are an infused cream cheese with a sardine, a little piece of black truffle on top.
That's from today.
Yep, that's from today. We just got that. And then this is a cheese that's infused with Perigord truffle that you're gonna be hunting down on Simon's farm tomorrow.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
So 3 truffles,
Mm-hmm.
2 are native, 1 is the Perigord.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh my gosh, I can't believe we found this today.
How was it? Is it good?
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
This is so good. This is like, has a lot going on. It's like just a little bit of sweet from the truffle, but it's not it's not, you smell it more
Mm-hmm.
than you actually taste it.
Yep. Well, I'll be curious to see what you think of the white ones then, because it's a totally different flavor profile.
Should I just try it?
Yeah, try it. You see.
Whoa, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Told you.
Whoa,
So a little goes a long way with those.
oh my gosh. Like I can feel it coming out of my nose.
Uh-huh.
Whoa, that is so intense.
Uh-huh.
I feel like that I should have probably eaten with the cracker. Okay, I'm gonna try this.
See if that
more.
works.
That was so, like, that just like hit me in the face like a train.
That work? Okay.
Mm.
Wasn't sure. I haven't tried that before, but it seems like a good combo.
Mm-hmm. I still taste it. It's still like very pronounced, but with the honey, it's like a little smoother. All right,
Yeah.
and last
a little
but not
slice,
least,
yep.
the Perigord.
Just it's interesting to see your take on it.
Oh wow,
Different.
there's something grassy about it.
Okay. Yeah. No, that doesn't.
That
No, no,
seems
no.
so-
Doesn't
I feel like
surprise
there's-
me.
It tastes like more than one thing.
Absolutely.
That was such an experience. I feel like I tasted a whole lot of things I've never tasted in my life, and it's really exciting.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to go to the Cartwright Trufferie and dive more into
Yeah.
this Perigord and
Yep.
how it's cultivated, and just experience more of the culinary side of the infusions.
And cook up some really nice stuff. Yeah, this is what we call field spread.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for coming out. It was fun.
My next stop is Cartwright Trufferie in Eugene, Oregon, where Simon and Lynette Cartwright study, research, and cultivate truffles for culinary pursuits. Widely recognized as experts in the region, they're a resource for restaurateurs and enthusiasts alike.
So this is a trufferie. Oh my gosh, it is insanely gorgeous. So I had an amazing time going foraging for wild native truffles, and I think there's an element of surprise about it that was just so much fun. But today I am really interested in digging a little deeper and learning more of the science behind it, because I know it cannot be easy to actually cultivate a truffle, and that's what you've done.
What we've been doing here is actually the Perigords, which is a completely non-native species. It's actually a European species that we're trying to cultivate here.
Your first tree was planted in '09.
Yep.
Okay, how long did it take to get your first truffle?
Our first truffle was 1022 on February 22, 2014.
So it took 5 years.
5 years for the first.
That's a really long time.
That's
Nothing compared to what a lot of people wait.
Really?
Yeah. 10, 13 years. It can be a very, very long time. And then after you get your first one, it can be a long time before you see lots more.
Yeah. So this is not something you just get into thinking like, oh, I'll just start making truffles. You're investing
Yes.
so much time and energy to
So
producing
much.
it.
It is farming. It's still a very new and unproven farming method here in the United States, and particularly here in the Pacific Northwest.
What you're saying is we're just on the verge of discovery about truffles.
Absolutely.
Yeah, even though they've been harvested in the rest of the world for thousands of years.
I think your story is so interesting, and I'm really excited to see what you've done, what you've planted. Do we have a dog to help us?
We do. Perry, we're going to be bringing our little Brittany out with us.
Okay.
And hopefully he'll get out there and find us some truffles.
All right. Well, let's go do it.
Awesome.
All right. He knows
it's
this
game
is what
time.
we're after. This is what we're doing.
He's ready.
Pear, hey,
So ready.
slow down, baby.
The fungus has three forms. There's the ecto part, which actually forms a sausage skin around the outside of the root.
The fungus and the roots of the tree have a magical cooperative relationship, or symbiosis. Instead of feeding on decomposing matter like most other mushrooms, truffles actually depend on a living, growing tree. Through photosynthesis, their leafy companion provides the truffles with the sugars it needs to survive. The truffle spores produce thin filaments called mycelium that wrap around the tree's roots like a fuzzy white sock. As the mycelium grow, they continue to branch out into the soil, forming an ever-expanding fungal web that's much larger than the tree's actual root system. This mycorrhizal web collects nutrients from the soil and in return feeds the tree. The fungi freely grow, enhancing both the soil's microbiome and the tree's nutrient density. Now that's a win-win for both plant and fungus.
This way?
Did you find something? Where? Where is it?
Oh, is that one?
That, I think.
The cultivated Perigord mushroom smells nothing like the native truffles we found in the wild.
That is it.
It smells of both the damp earth forest floor and of hazelnuts.
Yeah, it's very, very subtle.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, I just keep picking up a nuttiness. A little earthy, but nutty.
The culinary value of a truffle isn't necessarily the truffle itself, but its powerful aroma. I often say that we eat with our eyes first, but the truth is, our smell influences our perception of taste before we ever take a bite. This is why I'm so excited to cook with truffles.
I noticed some of your recipes have infused ingredients, and from my own personal reference with infusing, it means sort of steeping and something. And you're doing it very differently here.
Yeah, this is our little bowl of goodness. We place it in here with the avocados, the cream, the butter, basically everything we can. Why? Because all those volatiles are being let off and they will attach to the fats and oils that are available to them.
So
And
they're infusing by just being in the same container.
yes.
Where's the mushroom?
The mushroom is actually in this little container right up the top. So.
Oh my gosh, that whole jar smells like it. That's amazing, this
So,
tiny little thing.
For
Do you ever
later.
heat this? Like, do you ever infuse anything in, like, by steeping in milk, or does the heat do something?
For something like the Perigord, it will handle a bit of heat. We'll actually, when we do the bread and butter pudding, we'll put some in with the milk and cream that we're going to bring up to temperature to make the custard. So
Interesting.
Lots of little tricks for you
Lots of
coming
little
up.
tricks. All right, well, we can put this back in here. Does it just go like this?
Yep.
Okay. And then we can make our butter for the bread pudding.
Yes, that works.
Truffle butter. Perfect. So now we get to make a dessert.
Yeah, this is the bit where we don't tell Weight Watchers what we're doing.
No, bring on the butter.
Oh, awesome! That's what we love to hear.
Yum.
So, first part of this is making some truffle butter because.
Okay.
And again, getting back to the infusing, we've actually had this butter infusing for 4 days now with
Really?
Oregon Black.
Oh yeah.
So
And you're gonna add more to it?
yeah, first step is put the butter in.
I can do that. And we're gonna grate the truffle.
You're going to grate an obscene amount of black truffle in there.
Are you gonna tell me when?
When your heart says stop. So now that we've got the bread and the butter done, we're going to make the custard to go on top of that. So you've done an awesome job of chopping us 2 piles of the Oregon Black. One is going to go into the cream, half milk that we put together. That's just going to come up to temperature
Steep.
to steep.
And then we need to temper the eggs, right?
Correct,
Okay.
correct. And we'll just thicken it up slightly. Then we'll pour it over the bread and butter and get it into the oven. I've got an oven at about 375.
Okay. Okay, what do we have next, Steve?
Next, we're going to do crab and avocado.
Yum. I like that. So you told me ahead of time that the crab avocado toast is like a secret delicacy in the industry for truffle.
This is one of those dishes that it's so quick and easy to put together, but it's everyone's favourite. You know,
And we're gonna do Perigord.
we're going to do Perigord because
Okay.
that's what we grow here, and we personally think it's the best.
Great. So how do you assemble this?
What we're going to do is slice up the avocado. That avocado's been 3 days in the truffle locker, so it's got the Perigord infused into it.
Yeah, I smell it a little.
I'm going to take the lump crab that you guys got yesterday, the beautiful Dungeness, and I'm going to add some chopped up Perigord into that. So, the moment of truth.
I've always wanted to do this, by the way. Before I start shaving this, I just want to take a second and admire like how insane this looks. It's just so cool. I just think it's amazing.
So, cheers.
Cheers! Thank you. Oh my gosh, looks amazing. This is a lot. Mmm. That crab is really freaking good. Oh my gosh. The Perigord is nice because it does not overpower the crab, but it's still present.
Because there's so much glutamic acid in the truffle, it helps open up your tongue's receptors, so everything takes on, a bit more of its flavour. It's like nature's MSG.
Yeah.
You can see why people, once they get the truffle bug, kind of crave.
Crave the truffle bug.
Yeah.
I think
Sorry,
I have the truffle bug.
yeah, I'm sorry.
This is your fault.
This is my fault. I'm sorry.
I like it. So Simon, I think one of the things I'm most fascinated about truffles, besides the fact that I really haven't gotten to work with them until now, is that I know aroma plays a huge factor in the way that we perceive food, and I don't think there's a better ingredient that represents that than a truffle. Tell me, why are we choosing cauliflower?
Or the Oregon whites, they have such an intense garlic note, as well as this onion, hazelnut.
Well, they're intense.
Yeah, we
scare me a little.
really need something that's going to buffer it, and that's one of the things we notice a lot with people when they first start to cook with truffle is they don't think a little is a lot. So cauliflower soup is a great introduction because it's like this buffer for that as well.
Yeah.
If we go a little on the heavy side, we're not going to hurt ourselves.
But it's kind of like a blank canvas for really experiencing that truffle.
Yeah.
A truffle has a very short shelf life. This, and the fact that it's so difficult to cultivate, makes a truffle very expensive. Naturally, we want to make the most out of it by infusing it with fatty ingredients, allowing a single truffle to be used in various ways.
Okay, I can't wait to try this, but I think before we put the truffle on there, I just need to know what it tastes like all by itself.
What a great idea.
So, I'm just gonna dig in here. Oh, this is so smooth and creamy. Ooh, that's really good. It's very comforting. That's very good.
And it's really simple and it's good on its own.
Now I need to try it with the truffle.
Yep, and for this one, really the Oregon white is the way to go. Grab the truffle out of the fridge because we always like to keep them in the fridge. And
I feel like you can smell it from a mile away. It does settle down. I don't know if it's my nose getting used to it, or if it's just like breathes off
after the initial hit. So
yeah, it does.
okay. Remember with the whites, a little is a lot. So
okay, you tell me.
Okay,
That's me.
you could go a little more than that.
Are you sure?
Yeah, just a little more. That's about right.
Ooh, okay.
I'm really excited to see what you think.
I am too. I'm like kind of nervous, but I'm confident. Oh wow, that's so much more subtle, but it does add a lot more aged flavor to it. Like a little, it's just the same way like you would age a cheese or age a meat. You're intensifying basically the flavor of what you're actually tasting.
Yeah.
I was not expecting to like this. I'm not gonna lie. Based on like my reaction to smelling it so intensely, this is very good. Last but not least,
The best part of the meal. Bread and butter pudding, fresh out of the oven. I don't think there's anything.
is there a proper way to do this?
Nope. Whatever
Okay.
way you feel.
Oh, it's way crunchier than I thought it would be. And now truffle whipped cream, which is the craziest thing I've ever heard of. I'm just so spoiled. Wait, I want a little more whipped cream. Okay.
I think I've done enough damage to this one today, don't you?
Thank you. Mmm. That is really good. That I feel like it's so fruity and it's amazing that we didn't season it with anything but truffle.
Yeah.
I feel like you just put a bunch of fruit in there. This is an incredible way to finish this trip, and I can't thank you enough sharing with me your orchard and how you prepare things, because it's something that I've never gotten to experience before, and I feel like I got like the red carpet. So thank you so much.
I feel a little embarrassed by that, but thank you for coming. It was
You're
just
welcome.
wonderful to have you and the whole crew here.
Thank you.
After this unique and memorable trip, I wanted to cook a special meal reflecting what I learned. I wish I could say there was a mushroom to substitute for a truffle, but there just isn't. However, her methods of infusion inspired me to take a fresh look at the way I cook with mushrooms. I took out my dried mushrooms and blitzed them into a powder to use as a spice rub for venison steaks. Its umami flavors intensifies the savoriness of the meat, and the earthy notes enhance the flavors that make wild game so unique. I also infused the dried mushrooms into heavy cream. The smell is intoxicating, like a rich bowl of cream of mushroom soup. After straining, I used that cream to make a sweet dessert, a luscious chocolate porcini pot de creme. And I know what you're thinking, chocolate and mushrooms? Believe me when I tell you that these two ingredients create an incredible synergy because they share similar aromatic compounds. It's like tasting chocolate in a way I've never had before. You'd never know that mushrooms were infused into the cream, but without it, it just doesn't taste the same.
Oh man, it's cooked perfectly.
Nothing compares to a truffle. All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And there is so much to learn about the way they grow and their culinary uses in the kitchen. Their importance to our forests, their smells,
It's amazing.
their taste,
It's intense.
all contribute to its allure. I'm excited for the future of farmed truffles, and I'm inspired by Simon and Alana's approach to making it more accessible to the average person like me.